Hey everybody, it's Scott here and welcome to the Gear Rules channel. Today we are doing an overview and review of the Distance 4 hydration vest by the company Black Diamond. I use this vest exclusively for the training for and participation of the 120-mile stage race called the Trans Rockies Run. So I have a lot of miles under my belt in this vest. I know a lot about it, and I have a pros and cons list you're not going to want to miss. If you guys like this view, I'd really appreciate you showing me some love by hitting that like button, and feel free to subscribe for more cool content. Let's go ahead and get into the overview and review of the Distance 4 vest. Okay, before we get into my pros and cons list, which you're definitely going to want to pay attention to, let me just tell you what you're going to get when you purchase the Distance 4 vest, everything that this vest has to offer. As I'm going through this, let me just tell you this is a medium-sized vest, and I'm 5'9", about 175 pounds, so it gives you some reference points. So let's talk about the front first, and we'll move our way to the back. So first in the front are two straps that are quick and easy to cinch. You can't actually slide it down this black section, but you can hook it, and there's different notches to find the perfect level of where you want this vest to ride. So those are the straps. Moving on to the pockets, there are two main pockets for the water bottles. They just quickly slide in and out, which is nice. And the water bottles have this nice squishy material, so that as you drink, the water stays nice and vacuum sealed, keeps everything again very close to your chest, and prevents a bunch of sloshing around, which is a really nice feature. Now, moving on, there are two what I call snack pouches right here, where you can just reach in and grab. I put goos or different snacks right here. Quick and easy to use, makes it nice to actually put the trash back in. Really use these pouches a ton. And last but not least, there is a zippered security pouch in the front. It's big enough for if you have a phone and you want to run with your phone in your vest. It's typically where I would put it. Keeps it from falling out when you're running and jostling around. So that's that. It's about everything in the front of the vest. Now before we move on to the back, we'll talk about really the top, which is this cool accessory called the Z-Pull carrier. It stores inside this tiny little pouch, one up here, one in the back, and out of it comes a very long string and a little cincher tool. Now sold separately are some trekking pulls. You can use your own. These are the Z-Pulls by Black Diamond. These are the carbon fiber ones. I'll probably do a video on these later, but essentially what you do is you keep these poles nice and close together. You put them inside the stretchy loop on one end, and then you find the lower end and you do the same thing. And when you're not using your poles, you can actually put them behind your back. They cinch up really nice. So here's them uncinched. They cinched up real nice and stay close to your body. So that's a really cool feature. Now moving on to the back, there are really two main pouches. There is the big bottom one, which actually is pretty easy to reach behind and grab. Right now I just have like a windproof protective layer. It's pretty wide. And then the top here, we have another zippered pouch. And this one's nice because it has like a little red carabiner to hold keys, and you can put whatever you want in there. Finally, there is a spot for a bladder to go. I don't have a bladder today, but you can put a bladder and actually use the bladder feature. Everything worked fine. All right, so that covers it with the overview. I really hope that helps you understand what you're getting with the vest. Sometimes it's hard to tell by just looking at pictures, so hopefully that was helpful. Now let's go ahead and get into my pros and cons list, starting of course with the positive. And my biggest positive is there are so many different compartments in this vest, and they all are kind of engineered to do different things. This one's nice and easy to reach in and grab, and throw trash or grab snacks. Very easy to access. Some of the other ones are a little bit more tailor-made to what you might put in there. So really appreciate the design that goes into this vest and all the different features and kind of nooks and crannies of the vest. The next pro is the coloring, the way they look. This is the graphite. I really like gray, so I'm kind of drawn to this. But a buddy of mine has the neon yellow one, which looks really crisp. It's not like overly bright, but you can tell it's meant to be seen. So really appreciate that. Now the third pro, which is probably common with a lot of hydration vests, is I really love the water bottle setup. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about reaching down and actually drinking it, but the only other vest that I've had before actually had just the Camelback packs in the pack, and there's a lot of sloshing around. Air tends to get trapped inside there, which is really annoying. This, with the air being at the top of the water bottles, it leaves first, and all the water is kind of vacuum sealed into the water bottle, and as you tighten the vest, you hardly even notice it's there. So really love this part of it. Now unfortunately, there are 3 cons on this vest that I would like to highlight, and the last one is maybe a deal breaker for me. So the one con is when you actually take the water bottle and slide them in, sometimes you get caught up by the top of the other pocket here, and it's hard to kind of push it down in, so you kind of have to work it in to get it to go all the way down into its pocket. A little bit of an annoyance, but not that big of a deal. The other con I noticed during my Trans Rockies race is this stringy system. When you're taking the poles on and off, sometimes it can get tangled up on your shoulder, and it makes it hard to actually operate the cinching function. So a little bit of annoyance. If you have some patience, you can actually pick away the tangle, and it's really easy to fix. Just nitpicking here. And of course, this also, when you're running, if it's not tucked in, it kind of bounces around, which can just get annoying, especially when you're tired from your run. Okay, the third and final con, which I have to mention because it could be a deal breaker for some people, is the cinch loops that hold the water bottles up. So, like I said, love the water bottles. When you actually slide the water bottles in, there's a nice little pull tab that pulls a little cinch loop that goes around the circumference of the water bottle lid. That way, when you drink the water, it stays up nice and tight to the top, so it's easy to continue drinking until it's fully empty. When I was doing my Trans Rockies run, I actually snapped this loop here. So when I actually drink all the water here on this left side, the water bottle as you're running tends to just fall down here, which kind of defeats the purpose of the hydration vest. And I'm already seeing a lot of fraying and potential failure for the cinch loop on this side. So a little bit frustrating, kind of a failure point that I would be worried about if I was looking to buy this vest new. For the first several months of owning this vest, I was absolutely obsessed. I could not find a flaw with it besides the nitpicky things that I shared with you guys earlier. It was until that moment during the race that I had such a crucial part of this vest fail that really kind of bummed me out. I was looking forward to doing this review and just saying a bunch of positive things, but I gotta be honest with you guys, having this and having the water bottle slide down during a race over and over again is pretty frustrating to have happen. Now, I'm a little bit on the heavier and bulkier side for an ultra runner, so maybe I overpowered that cinch strap a little too much, but the last thing you want to be worried about when you're in an ultra event or any sort of event is being very careful with such a high traffic item like the thing that holds your water bottle up. So for that reason, I might consider a different vest, despite the fact that everything else on it is engineered very well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know down below by hitting that like and subscribing. And let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them. Again, really liked most of this vest. Hope to help a lot. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you for listening. Take care.
Let's take it out.